This mighty fortress was originally built on orders of King Henry VIII to defend this stretch of coastline against attack from foreign invaders. But where is it, and which county am I in? Keep watching.
On today's show, I'm helping a young professional couple from London who are looking for a country home. Along the way, they find the peace and quiet at one house quite astonishing.
The silence is deafening.
And a property fantasy is fulfilled at our mystery house.
Goodness, this is a dream. Ta-da!
Today I'm in Hampshire and this is Hurst Castle, which looks out across the Solent. Built in the 1540s, King Henry VIII certainly picked a commanding spot for it right at the end of this shingle spit and just 3/4 of a mile from the Isle of Wight. It has a colourful history. Charles I was imprisoned here in 1648 before his execution. And during the Second World War, it was used as a garrison to defend our coastline. However, conflict kings and castles are just some of the heritage highlights this county is home to.
Hampshire lies on the south coast of England and is bordered by 5 other counties, including Wiltshire and Dorset to the west. Its many attractions include 2 national parks, which cover some 45% of the county, and include the chalk ridges of the South Downs and the wooded pastureland of the New Forest, which encompasses the port of Lymington. Now a major yachting centre, Lymington was known for the production of salt from Roman times right up to the 19th century, when shipbuilding became the main industry. The county boasts many impressive historic buildings, such as the ruins of the Cistercian Abbey in the village of Beaulieu. Founded in 1203 by King John, it was once dubbed in Latin Bellus Locus Regius, meaning the beautiful place of the king. Today, visitors can marvel not only at the architecture, but also learn about Britain's 4-wheeled heritage at the National Motor Museum, which stands alongside it on the 9,000-acre Beaulieu estate.
The average price of a detached property in Hampshire comes in at £346,000. That's some £90,000 above the national figure. Now, this is mainly due to the high demand of living in the New Forest that can command a £100,000 premium. However, you'll get better value for money if you head east towards the likes of Farnborough, which offers good rail links to London. You can also find more affordable housing around the market town of Andover in the west and Romsey in the south. But wherever you're looking, you'll find this county has a great range of different property styles.
And today we're taking a look at some thatched houses, starting with this impressive 3-bedroom brick and stone cottage in the heart of the village of Selborne. Dating back to the 17th century and Grade 2 listed, its features include exposed brickwork in the kitchen and an inglenook fireplace in the sitting room. It's on the market for £550,000. For offers around the same price, you could opt for a part thatched cottage. This 4-bedroom property in Petersfield comes with leaded windows and exposed timbers in the open-plan reception room. And the stunning kitchen is a mixture of the modern and the traditional. But if your pockets aren't so deep, maybe you'd prefer this charming 2-bedroom cottage in the village of Rownhams. Priced at £175,000, it dates back to the early 18th century and has a wooded beam mantel over the fireplace.
Great Hampshire homes there, but will any of them win the hearts of today's house hunters? Let's find out.
Andy and Frances have lived in their 2-bedroom Victorian maisonette in the London suburb of Barnes for the past 3 years. They've enjoyed renovating it, but since they got married 6 months ago, they've decided it's too small for the next stage of their lives.
To have the house that we really want, the house that we want to spend, I suppose, the rest of our lives in, we really want to move to achieve that. I don't think we can get that in Barnes, as lovely as it is.
No, it's a bit expensive in Barnes to get the space we want. But one of the reasons for the move would be, looking to start a family, so, more space. Looking at a local school would be good, so that'll be a focal point, so...
As both financial accountant Andy and Francis, who's an events manager, will continue to work in London around 3 days a week, they're looking to live no more than an hour away from the capital. And they've settled on the county of Hampshire for another more personal reason too.
I grew up in Hampshire and I still have a lot of family there. My uncle lives in Winchester, my mum lives in Southampton, and my sister, her husband and my niece live in the neighbouring county of Dorset. So it would be great to be able to spend more time with them and to see them more often.
As well as spending more time with the family, they're planning on what might be the best way to make friends in their new community.
It would be great to live in a village where the focal point of the community was the local pub, and there are lots of festivals around food that go on.
Andy and Francis are both self-confessed foodies, so it's no surprise that they want the kitchen to be the heart of their new home. But they also have pastimes they'd like to pursue outdoors.
I love cooking, that's my passion, baking in particular, and it would just be really nice to have a larger kitchen.
Yeah, it would definitely benefit me as well.
To be able to do that, yeah, and horse riding. I grew up riding a lot, and moving out of the country would hopefully enable me to do more of that.
Yeah, if there was a garden big enough that I could put in maybe a pitching area with a putting green on it, that would be absolutely ideal.
So with their finances in place, accountant Andy knows exactly how much they have to spend.
The budget for the move is £600,000.
As they have family in Winchester and Southampton, as well as in Dorset, we've pretty much got a free rein throughout the county to find Francis and Andy their new rural home, as long as it's within an hour of London for when they need to drive back for work. We're meeting in Hampshire so they can tell me more about the vision they have of their future country home.
Well, Andy and Francis, welcome to Hampshire. I mean, it's beautiful. Just look at that view. If you weren't decided, looking at that, it would change your mind, wouldn't it?
Gorgeous.
And have you got a clear idea exactly what you're after? Come on, remind us of your wish list.
So the key, I suppose, is a period property, isn't it, for both of us? Ideally, we'd like 4 bedrooms with some sort of workspace so we can obviously work from a home office. We'd like a big kitchen.
I think, the kitchen to be the focal point of the house.
Right.
Almost certainly.
OK.
Enough space to entertain guests, a good outside space. I'm not asking for much.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, because Hampshire's not the cheapest of counties, is it? And with this house, with this move, it doesn't have to be perfect straight away, does it?
It's a long-term move. So.
I like that, yes, because you said it's like a 20 to 30-year house, isn't it, that you can imagine living?
Yeah.
Right,
Indeed.
well, we've got 3 houses lined up to show you. One is our mystery house. That's going to get the grey matter working overtime. So, should we get cracking?
Lovely.
Come on, then.
For their maximum budget of £600,000, Francis and Andy are looking for a character property, preferably detached and with a large kitchen and utility room. They'd like at least 4 bedrooms, a study to work from home, and a large enough garden for Andy to play pitch and putt on. We found 3 beautiful properties which we think will really impress our buyers, and at each one, I'll be asking them to guess the price tag. Last on the tour will be our mystery house, which we hope will make them true converts to country life. We're starting off with house number 1.
There's going to be a bit of a change in lifestyle for you both. I mean, you've got the commute to London, but the times that you can actually be here in Hampshire and the weekends, it's hopefully going to give you more time for your hobbies.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I suppose, about having a better quality of life as well. And it just suits, as you say, the things that we enjoy doing most at the weekend.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, even though we've got Richmond Park fairly close to us, we find we don't use that. Whereas here, it's just right on your doorstep.
Yeah.
We've made the journey around 11 miles west of Winchester, close to the village of King Somborne, a trip of around 16 miles to the M3 for the drive back to London. Set in Hampshire's beautiful Test Valley, amenities include a church at the heart of the village, a thatched traditional pub which serves food, and one of the nearest convenience stores and post offices to our first property. Situated almost 5 miles away on the edge of the village of Michaelmarsh, it's a period cottage that dates back to the early 1700s.
So here we have it. This is our first property here in Hampshire.
Fantastic. Looks lovely.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. Sort of quintessential English countryside.
It is.
Very beautiful.
It's very pretty, and I love the fact that there is a nice driveway, a front garden, so it looks really attractive from the outside.
Good. Right. Should we get cracking?
Absolutely.
Come on, follow me.
The location and traditional exterior are certainly holding their interest, and I think we can make it a hat-trick of successes, as inside, this property provides the period charm Frances and Andy are looking for.
So here we go, first tour of the house. Starting
Lovely.
off with the drawing room.
Lots of character.
Yeah, lots of character. Fantastic
Very
fireplace.
cosy, isn't it?
It is very cosy. Quite low ceilings, which is okay
Thankfully
for
we're
me.
not
We're
tall.
fairly short. That's not a problem. They're very nice. Very,
Yeah.
very cute.
You've probably noticed, especially as you currently live in London, no
Pretty
traffic.
quiet.
Yeah.
Remarkably so.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does,
For sure,
yeah.
yeah.
And I'm sure if you live in the country, you just take that peace and quiet for granted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. That's really noticeable now.
Yeah.
The silence is deafening.
Welcoming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very cosy. Very, you feel almost immediately at home, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Wonderful. Right, well, we'll keep going. Now, I think this
Wow, this is lovely.
is delightful, isn't
Yeah.
it? Absolutely delightful.
Very bright.
It's lovely.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
very-
imagine
very
sitting in
bright,
there
yeah.
in the summer, enjoying the garden.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's quite a big space as well, actually.
It is, and it brings the outside
Yeah.
in. There are lots of rooms with this property. Just behind us, there's a door. Through there, there's a huge utility room.
Wow, great.
Utility
Huge.
room.
And you've got a boot room with access
Oh,
outside.
lovely.
Superb.
Yeah, with a cloakroom. But let's
that's great.
continue through because this is the kitchen I want to show you.
Fantastic.
Important for a baker
Ooh, wow, lovely.
that you feel happy.
Yeah, that's a lovely
Great
space.
space, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
Very welcoming. You get lots of people around that table with this. Is that a
That's a
church
pew.
Yeah.
It is
It's
indeed.
lovely.
So as you can see, over the years, probably over the last 30 years or so, the house has been extended once and then
Yeah.
extended again.
Yeah.
So from the front, did you think it was this big?
Probably not, no.
Really, but no.
Super, right, we'll continue.
So this house has prompted some positive reactions so far, and they should be equally pleased with the upstairs, which will more than meet their demands.
So we've got 4 bedrooms
Fantastic.
in total. And this is the master
Lovely.
Okay, yeah, it's a good size.
Right.
with your ensuite.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that's good size, isn't it?
Yeah, good size.
So we have managed to find you 4 bedrooms, which is always a
Great.
good start,
Yep.
isn't it?
Four decent sizes as
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
And you've probably noticed that little quirky study through one of the bedrooms.
Yes,
Yeah, indeed,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. That's a good, could be a good working space for us.
So that's a great start with this
Yeah.
first house. It's got
Yeah.
you thinking. So we're going to head outside,
Lovely.
look at the garden, look at the location. We're going to talk money as well, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
How much
Okay.
it's on the market for. Right, let's go back downstairs.
Thank you, Nikki.
I'm glad they've been impressed by the inside, and outside gives them the generous garden they were looking for, so Andy can practice his golfing skills.
This is lovely.
See, I love showing people houses, but I really love showing people sometimes the gardens
This
and
is
the aspects.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Look, chickens and ducks.
Yeah, fantastic.
as well.
So
About a third of an acre.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
it's a good size.
But how much is this dream going to be? What's it going to cost
It's tricky,
you?
isn't it? I think it's on the market for 565.
Okay,
Okay, I'm going to go slightly low at 550.
okay. Your top budget is £600,000. Francis, you're the closest. £575,000 is the asking price.
Okay.
There we go.
Now, you're rubbing your hands with glee. Is that because you've got closest on the price, or
Both, I think.
well within your budget?
We're happy to do some work, and that budget would certainly allow us to do that.
Yeah.
Good. It always makes a difference once you know the price and you take a second look around a property. So why don't you do that? Take as long as you like. Give me a shout when you're ready.
Lovely. Thank you,
Okay,
Nicki.
see you.
Well within their budget at £575,000, this pretty period cottage has got us off to a good start and provides them with a spacious kitchen diner plus utility room and boot room. The sitting room has lots of character, and upstairs there are 4 bedrooms they asked for. Outside, the manageable garden amounts to 1/3 of an acre.
It's in there. Yeah.
Okay, so
Now
that's
that's got lots of scope, hasn't it?
indeed, yeah, that's an ensuite, possible
Turn it
work
into an
room.
ensuite. Yeah, I think that's what you do.
I thought it looked a very quaint English house. To be honest, I thought it felt quite small. But then as you walk through the rest of the house, downstairs especially, it opens up and the light from the conservatory certainly makes the downstairs space quite inviting.
I really like the outside space the property has to offer. It's got a good-sized garden, it's mature. There's lots of scope to change the layout a little bit and really make it our own. So it's definitely a contender, I think.
How are we doing?
Great.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, happy? Seen enough?
Yes. Very, very good start.
Yeah, interesting start, very good.
Good. Right, we'll continue then.
For the last 500 years, Hampshire's Portsmouth Dockyard has been one of the country's most historically important maritime sites. It is said to be the place where tea arrived when it was first introduced to Britain in the reign of Charles II back in the 17th century. Rather fittingly, these days, it's home to an independent tea importer and blender whose factory uses hydraulic methods to blend the teas and make tea bags. As Andy and Frances are committed gourmets, we sent them to meet Andrew Gadsden from the All About Tea company to learn about the method for tasting tea and to make some for themselves.
Tea, like wine, is a product that changes. It's a natural product that's grown, so it depends upon where it's grown, and it depends upon what the weather has been that week or that day, and it depends upon the skill of the person who's in charge of the factory who's processing the tea that day, because it is a processed product when it leaves the factory.
Okay.
Professional tea tasting involves engaging the 9,000 taste buds on the tongue. The tea is slurped to bring in a good volume of oxygen to help define the taste of the tea.
So would you like to taste some tea?
Yes,
Absolutely
we'd love
love to, yeah.
Great, well,
Thank you.
it might get a little bit messy, so I've got
Okay.
some coats here for you. OK, so we've got the orange, which has got the orange peel and the flowers and so on, and the orange oil.
Right, give it a
So
go.
have a go, Frances.
Taste.
Don't be embarrassed, honestly. Everyone.
I haven't quite
That's
got
great.
the technique, but it tastes
That's
really
great.
good.
And then you've got the Earl Grey at the end. That's the orange fannings you're on there, Andy.
Yeah, that's
That's lovely, the Earl Grey.
very distinct.
Having tasted those, you know, what's the sort of style that you like? And,
My
and what about
favourite
you,
was
Frances?
definitely the lemon.
The lemon?
Yeah.
Great, OK. Well, it would be quite an easy thing for us, I think, together now to make up a blend. So we're going to put a few teas together and some flavourings. If you'd like to follow me, we'll do that now.
Thank you.
So, with the tasting done, Andy and Frances are going to have a go at blending some lemon and ginger flavoured tea.
We're going to do a very simple blend. We're going to do just 80-20. So we're going to do 80% Ceylon
Okay.
and 20% Tingamera.
Okay.
And you're on some scales. You're ready to make some tea bags after that. Normally we would leave teas for a period of time, for a couple of
Okay.
days.
Right.
Just to rest, for the
Yes.
blends to marry. Pour it in, that's brilliant.
First, some ground ginger and a generous amount of lemon oil are added to flavour the tea.
That's it. And now all we have to do is just give it a few turns. Every tea bag has to be perfectly blended.
Then it's all mixed together in this cast iron blending machine, which is around 170 years old.
Now the next stage of the process is we're going to make some tea bags with it. So tea goes in here, paper goes in there, and the tea bags come out the bottom. And perhaps, Frances, you would like to turn that button there clockwise to the
Yes.
1 position.
Yes.
Tea from the hopper goes down through a chamber and into the bags, which then come off the bag-making roller and are heat sealed before dropping into the out tray.
There are your tea bags coming out.
Superb.
Thank you.
Go on, his and hers tea bags.
Fantastic. Smells great.
So now that our buyers have their tea, let's hope they appreciate the perfect blend of elements in store at our remaining properties. Our second house takes us 60 miles west of Winchester to Lockerley, Hampshire's largest village parish. It's a drive of just over 15 miles to the M3 for when they need to return to London. Based around 4 village greens which are preserved as common land, the amenities of this active community include a church built in the late 1880s, a pub that serves local ales, and a village shop for everyday necessities. Property number 2 is a Grade 2 listed whitewash cottage, which dates back to the 1700s. And I think Francis and Andy will agree that the thatched roof helps tremendously in delivering the character they're after.
So I want to show you our second property.
Wow. Amazing. Very cute.
Yeah, it's quite different to the last one. Yeah, it's. I like the look of it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered living in a thatched cottage?
We haven't, but we're open to seeing what it's like.
Good.
Absolutely. Yes.
Good. So, shall we start the tour?
Yes,
Indeed.
House
let's
number
do it.
2.
Yeah,
Come
great.
on.
Thank you.
Along with that well-preserved character exterior, inside has been sympathetically renovated, as they'll see in the kitchen.
So you've got this lobby area,
Oh, very nice.
which leads us.
Oh, this is lovely.
How's this for a kitchen?
Fantastic.
Wow, this is very nice indeed.
Bags of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. It's modern. It's got character. It's modern.
Yeah, but it's got a nice country feel, hasn't
got
it?
a
I love
great
the
feel to
island
it.
as well. That's great.
It's big. It's got.
Just
the,
imagine having lots of dinner parties in here.
Indeed. Yeah, it's got almost like an open plan kitchen diner. It's lovely. Very nice.
So if you were having a dinner party, for example, you'd be cooking, getting it all ready, and your friends would be sitting there at the table. And if you just look to the left, there's access there to a drawing room. But I'm going to take you this way to the other side of the property.
So we found Francis the perfect place for her baking, as well as a brilliant setting for them to host social gatherings. But let's get their view on the main sitting room.
And then,
Wow.
This is gorgeous.
good sized reception room. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a good size. Yeah, it's a big room.
Really lovely, really
character.
bright as well.
Yeah.
Love the beams. Love the fireplace.
And the house does have exposed brickwork and beams throughout.
Yeah.
But they don't dominate the room, do they?
No. You know, decorated very much to our own taste, so we wouldn't have to do anything. We could just move straight in. It's yes, it's fantastic.
Good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Right.
Thumbs
That's
up.
put the pressure on me for upstairs, hasn't it? Let's keep going.
Thank you.
I'm pleased they've fallen for the charms of the downstairs. And upstairs should keep up the momentum, with 4 very good-sized bedrooms. There's a huge spare double and 2 other slightly smaller ones, so they could put one to use as a study. And they all share a luxuriously large family bathroom, but I'm going to show them where they could be sleeping.
So for the master bedroom, you want to stick your head in
Wow.
there. You've got an ensuite.
That's huge
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
for
room.
an ensuite.
Yeah. That's
Massive.
normally a family
Exactly,
bathroom
it's bigger than
size.
our main bathroom at home.
Nice tiling
Good.
behind the shower.
And then here's your
lovely.
bedroom.
Really lovely.
Yeah, it's
Great
a good,
size.
Good size room.
So some really positive comments there as we've walked around. Is this sort of much more the way you like to live your lives in this type of environment?
Yeah, I think it's much more us, I would say, than the last property.
Let's keep going on that positive note. Back downstairs.
Fantastic.
So this house seems to have really won them over, and there's still the garden to see. To the side and rear of the house, there's a secluded patio area and a large expanse of lawn.
So here is the back of the
Wow.
property.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, really is gorgeous.
Really stunning.
Yeah, beautiful. It's
Absolutely.
interesting. You don't see this from as you approach the property
No,
from the other side. You
no.
you wouldn't imagine it looks beautiful from the other side.
OK, we're going to talk finances now. How much is this cottage on the market for?
I think it's a bit more than the last one and a bit more over our budget, so I would guess £625,000.
Right, 25 over your budget,
I think
OK.
so.
OK, I'm going to come in slightly lower again, just under budget at 595.
OK. Well, Andy, you're the closest.
Wow, well,
I thought you were competitive.
well, I am, but actually that's a win-win.
You're right, actually, because it is cheaper. It's £585,000. So you've still got some money left in the bank. Fancy a second tour, but this time on your own?
Yes,
Absolutely.
please.
Be
that'd
my
great.
guest.
Under budget at £585,000, this charming thatch property addresses everything on their list of demands. It has a huge sociable kitchen diner, 2 other separate reception rooms, 4 bedrooms, so one could be used as a study, and a large enclosed garden.
This house is more what I was hoping to see. I love the dining area, I love the fireplace in there, the wood burner. The garden, again, about the right size. So, yeah, all in all, it's good. And the price was also right as well.
I really like this house. The proportions are fantastic, the layout's great, so we wouldn't need to change anything. We could just move straight in. But I suppose my only concern would be being right on the road. So I think that's the only negative that we would need to think about.
Right, you two. Have you seen enough?
I think so,
Yeah,
thank
we've seen
you.
enough.
Happy?
Yes.
Indeed, yeah, we're happy.
Excellent. Right, we're going to hit the road now.
Thanks, Nicki.
As dusk falls over the beautiful Hampshire landscape, it marks the end of a very positive first day in our property search. Armed with £600,000, Andy and Frances are looking to upsize from their London maisonette to a house in the Hampshire countryside. So far, they've been impressed by a character property with enough room for chickens in the garden and enraptured by a stunning thatched cottage. But coming up, the mystery house provides stiff competition.
I could hear you both go, wow, wow, wow.
It is the wow factor, so.
Yeah.
And I meet some British birds of prey at Hampshire's Hawk Conservancy Trust.
We've shown Andy and Frances 2 properties so far here in Hampshire. Now, the first one received a positive response. Well, I say positive. Were they just being polite? The second one, that large thatched cottage, was certainly to their liking. So today, it's time to show them our third and final property, of course, the mystery house. So will this be the one that seals the deal?
We're travelling around 11 miles southeast of Winchester to Bishop's Waltham, under 9 miles from the nearest junction of the M3 for those trips to London. To find out more, we're dropping in to meet Sophie Green, who runs the local sweet shop.
Hi, Sophie.
Good morning.
My goodness, what an impressive array of different sweets. How many different varieties are there?
We've got 240 sweets in the jars.
Oh my goodness, I wouldn't mind trying those, would you?
Absolutely.
We might be here quite a time though, because the guys are thinking of buying in Hampshire. So can you tell us as a local a little bit more about the area?
Yeah, sure. It has got a fantastic range of shops, from the butchers, fishmongers, greengrocers, through to very specialised ladies' boutiques. So it's the kind of village you can get nearly everything you need.
Good to know. And is there a good community spirit? Is it a good place to bring up children, for instance?
It's got a good range of local schools,
Okay,
so
great.
you're almost spoilt for choice. And there's a lot going on for children, lots of children's clubs and activities. And there's also things for the community. We have markets in the high street on a Sunday.
Lovely.
I don't think we can come to a sweet shop and not actually buy some sweets for our house
No,
tour.
I
What do we
agree.
reckon? What about rhubarb and custard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, bring
can't
back
go
some
wrong with that
memories.
one.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Would you like a quarter?
That'd be perfect. Great. How much is that?
That's £1.
Lovely.
That's great.
And on that
Thank you very
sweet
much.
note, we'll leave you. Sophie, thanks very
Thanks
much
a lot.
indeed.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
On the outskirts, set on a quiet lane, our mystery property has a little less space than they asked for, and it's one of an attached group of 4 residences, so definitely not detached. We're about to find out if Francis and Andy will want to swap barns in London for a 17th century barn conversion.
Wow,
Very interesting.
intriguing.
Not what you expected?
A mystery
No.
indeed.
It's still a mystery.
It is our mystery house. You've probably noticed, well, it's a rather large barn, isn't it? It's actually 4 properties in
right,
total.
Okay.
So the barn that we're going to be looking at is that one there.
Looks lovely. Can't wait to see inside.
Yeah, I love that large glass front to it.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked inside a barn before?
Never.
No.
It's the first
No,
time.
yeah, this is going to be a first. That's brilliant.
Shall we start?
Yes.
do
Come
it.
on then.
They seem quite enthusiastic about our barn conversion. And when they see how this former cowshed has been radically renovated since 2004, I think they'll be delighted.
So what do you both think?
Wow, it's amazing.
Oh, great looking property.
Absolutely
Lovely.
gorgeous.
Very nice.
So beautifully done, isn't it?
Yes.
Very much so.
Incredible. It's just an incredible sense of space, isn't there, with the big windows and the light flooding in and
Very airy, very warm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, given a lot of windows, you might expect it to be a bit cold, but it's it's very cosy.
I could hear you both going, wow, wow, wow.
It is the wow factor. So
Yeah. And your eyes, I keep seeing your eye hand is drawn, isn't it? Try not to look at the garden. I don't want to give too much away straight away because we're going to start off with the sitting room. So just up a few steps.
Oh, this is lovely.
that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. I think you can spot the 17th century beam there, can't you?
Yes. You've done it so well.
And you've got your wood burner in the corner.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
It's modern, it's very much our taste in decor.
I'd say so. Yeah.
OK, well, shall we continue? We're going to go downstairs. Andy, you lead the way.
Okay.
Great.
Down those stairs there towards the kitchen.
And as the chef of the house, Frances will hopefully warm to the area where she could be preparing for her dinner parties.
So as you come down on a different level, you have the kitchen.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice. Lots of units, lots of workspace.
Yeah, it's a good size. It's
and a range.
yeah, plenty of work surfaces.
Yeah. Yeah, and a nice flow with the dining area as well.
And then also on this level, you've got a guest bedroom through
Okay.
there and a shower room as well.
Okay.
So guests
Lovely.
could be sort of on their own
Yes,
side of the
yeah,
property.
yeah.
Yes, that's a nice idea.
Good. Right. Have you seen enough on this level?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yes.
So far, they seem impressed by our imaginatively converted mystery house. The accommodation upstairs is laid out over 2 levels. At the very top on the 2nd floor, there's an open-plan study area that makes great use of the space. In addition, there's also a playroom, but we're heading for the largest bedroom on the 1st floor.
So here is where you'd sleep.
Lovely. Beautiful room.
Yeah.
It's high
How
ceiling.
high that is, yeah.
So high. Now, it doesn't have an ensuite,
Okay.
but the family bathroom's just across the way and there's a smaller bedroom the other side of the corridor. But what you do have is, we turn the light
Oh,
on.
my goodness, this is a dream.
Ta-da!
Yeah, that's a good size, isn't it?
Walk-in
Wow.
wardrobe, it's huge.
So where's your stuff going to go?
It's lovely.
So it's good use of space, and I think that makes all the difference.
It really does, yeah.
Right, well, we haven't seen the garden properly yet, so let's head back downstairs.
So we've granted an unexpected wish for Frances with the walk-in wardrobe. But now we'll see if the garden lives up to their expectations.
Well, it might be raining, but I think it's worth getting a bit damp for just to come out and see
Absolutely.
this garden.
It's gorgeous. It's quite a big garden as
It
well,
is
isn't it?
good size. Yeah, excellent.
You also have an outbuilding right at the end of the
Oh, I
garden,
see.
Yeah, see
which
that.
is pretty generous in size, so you can use that for storage as well.
Brilliant.
Great. Yeah.
So we're going to have to talk money now, aren't we? Andy, you're the accountant. Should we start with you? You must be
Okay.
good with figures.
Okay. I'm going to say the same as yesterday. Actually, 595.
Okay.
And I think I'm also going to go the same as the last property at 625.
Okay, interesting. The asking price is £599,950.
That's great. just
under your budget.
But we wouldn't have to do anything. We could move straight in.
Why don't you have another look around?
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
And also do check out the garden. Start off with the house. You never know, it might stop raining. And, well, we'll meet up when you're ready.
Lovely,
Great.
thank you.
After you.
Giving them £50 change from their £600,000, a mystery barn conversion may be attached, but it is well located for their travel to work and provides them with a huge welcoming reception room, a generous kitchen and dining area, a study space upstairs, 3 bedrooms, one with a walk-in wardrobe and a generous garden.
I like the house, it's an interesting property. I can see Fran and I living here. It's our kind of place, and the finish is very good, so we wouldn't have to do much to it.
There's no doubt it's an absolutely lovely house. I think my only concern would be that it is a little bit too small in terms of missing an extra bedroom, the 4th bedroom that we were hoping for. So overall, a good option. We definitely like it, but I would say just a little bit too small would be my concern.
OK, guys.
Yes, thank you.
I bet you want some
Lovely.
time now, don't you, to have a think, a chat amongst yourselves, and then we should meet up.
Definitely, sounds good.
Come on, then.
Lying in the heart of Hampshire, just west of Andover, is the site of the Hawk Conservancy Trust, which, since the 1980s, has become one of the country's most important centres, specialising in the care and conservation of Britain's wild birds of prey. Set in 22 acres of woodland and wildflower meadow, there are over 150 birds of prey on view. Many of these birds are involved in spectacular daily flying demonstrations, whilst others are part of important breeding or research projects. I went along to find out more about their work and meet some of the birds with the help of Kim Kirkbride, head of section for the Trust's National Bird of Prey Hospital.
Who's this little fellow?
This is Lark. Lark is a peregrine falcon, which is in fact the fastest living thing.
So how fast could he go?
He can go anything from 180 to 200 miles an hour when he's chasing his prey.
Faster than anything else
Yep.
on the planet. Well, how can they go so fast?
Well, when they're going at the speed chasing their prey, they have the wind behind them, so that's when they can tear themselves together, and they basically do like a bullet, like a teardrop shape out of the sky. Their nares, which are the 2 holes just above his beak here, they're designed to slow down the air, so when it hits its lungs, he's actually going at a normal breathing rate rather than going super fast into the lungs and making them explode. So they're adapted to go at these really high speeds.
Now, it is an impressive sight. Someone's talking to us behind. He doesn't want to be left out. Who's that behind us making all the noise?
The one behind us is Cheyenne. She is an American bald eagle, the national emblem of the United States, and she flies for us here in our demonstration. We've got the wildflower meadow at the top of the park, but it opens out into the Cholterton Valley, so it means the birds can rely on the lift, which are the thermals they need to rise up and fly really well in demonstration, so it's a really good setting for us.
A bird of prey is defined as one that attacks and kills its food with its feet, using its long curved talons.
It's not just caring for these magnificent creatures. You also do a lot of research here, don't you?
Yeah, we do a lot of research, so with birds that we have in the hospital. For example, we want to know the correct technical release methods, so how the best way to release them would come about, and also their survival rates as well, so whether or not rehabilitation does work for these species.
The Trust's hospital treats around 200 birds a year, which are brought in by members of the public or wildlife rescue organisations. It's mainly due to illness or injury, and in particular, a great many fledgling birds are admitted in the spring. Today, I'm about to witness the release of one of the UK's most common birds of prey, a buzzard, which was treated for puncture injuries, possibly from a fox attack, and is now well enough to leave the centre.
So, Kim, why have you selected this location on Salisbury Plain to release the buzzard?
This is actually where he was found, so we release, where possible, back to the exact same location, because they might already have a territory here, and even youngsters during the spring.
So he is going full circle, releasing him back. This must be what the Trust's work is all about.
It is, you know, to be actually have the bird in, look after it, and to be able to release it back to where it came from, you know, it's just the best thing possible.
So, Kim, this is it, being released back into the wild where he belongs.
He is indeed. I'll pop them on the floor.
Okay.
And then, so if you hold on to the plastic,
Yep.
I'm going to peel back the towel.
Okay.
Okay, it's that off of there. Peel back the towel. Lift this flap up.
Yep.
And then when you're ready, if you take that side, I'll take this side, and you should go.
Okay, ready?
Okay, you ready?
This is it.
1, 2, 3.
Look, he's quite dazzled. Wow. How rewarding. Amazing, Kim. Listen, thank you so much for letting us share this wonderful moment. Well, that's something you don't get to do every day. Truly amazing. But it's time now to join our house hunters and find out if they're ready to spread their wings in Hampshire. Well, Andy and Francis, we've had an interesting few days here in beautiful Hampshire. Well, let's get into the houses. We showed you 3. Let's start with the very first one, the cottage. What were your first impressions?
Well, it had a lovely front garden, didn't it, and a lovely driveway.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Quintessential English cottage.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Inside was a little bit different in that there was quite a lot of work to be done to make it,
Yeah.
you know, the ideal home for us. So
Probably too much work.
Yeah, a great start though. So we then took you to the west of the county, quite close to the Wiltshire border, and showed you a very large thatched cottage.
yes, it was stunning, Nikki. The decor was to our taste. It was a great size, wasn't it?
Yeah, done to
loads of space, amazing kitchen.
We felt at home there. It was how we would have, similar to how we would have done it.
In an ideal world, if it was, you know, in a quieter street and set back from the road, it would have been the perfect home, I
Cottage.
think, yeah.
The final property we showed you was the Mystery House, a collection of beautifully done barns, and that didn't seem to faze you at all.
No, it didn't. I think once you got into the property, from looking out the front door and also out the back garden, you couldn't actually see any of the adjoining barns, so it didn't actually feel as though you were part of a 4-barn conversion.
It's really our taste, done to our taste,
Yeah.
Nikki, so, you know, that's the sort of thing you could just move straight into and not have to change anything, so.
So out of the 3 properties, I mean, was the barn probably the closest?
I think in many ways it was, with the exception of the fact that it was just a little bit too small.
So, using this as hopefully a good experience,
Absolutely.
are you still thinking that Hampshire is the right county for you?
I think we definitely are, but we'd probably looked towards the north of the county further,
Yeah.
so that we're just that bit closer to London. It's been really, really useful in eliminating some of the things that we don't want, but also seeing things that we perhaps would have ruled out, such as a thatched cottage. You know, we'd
Absolutely,
have never
that's-
looked at that on our own.
Well, I'm glad we've been able to help, and I hope you find that perfect property in the north of the county.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So unfortunately, no house sale today. But what Andy and Francis have gleaned over the last few days is that all the while their jobs are in London, they're going to have to do that commute and how long it's going to take them. So by moving to the north of this stunning county, hopefully they'll get the work-life balance they so crave. We wish them all the very best. See you next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.